I kind of feel bad for the Bengals because as a Steelers fan, I know they were good. They were really good for a long time. It's just that they could never win a playoff game. So when you're one of those organizations like them or like the Lions or like the Browns that never wins a playoff game, you just have this aura of losing around you at all times, even when your team is good.
I heard a stat that the Bengals, I don't know how many years ago, they only had like 4 scouts though.
Yeah, no, that was real. They had an underdeveloped scouting department for years. That was a huge issue with them.
Like Marvin Lewis and the coaches were scouting too. Like it wasn't like they had an off season. Like Marvin Lewis, and I think this is something that Nick or Diggs, you've gone after Marvin Lewis pretty hard.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, throughout the years. But if you look at the Bengals before Marvin Lewis and then when Marvin Lewis got there, and then these stories start to creep out about what Marvin Lewis and the coaching staff had to deal with that owner being understaffed, under-facilitated, under everything, and Marvin Lewis and them continuing to generate wins, but not being able to generate meaningful wins, I think is something that's impressive. Will they ever be able to get over that hump? I'm not 100% sure.
With Joe Burrow, is he the type of player where he could be like, he could legitimately change their franchise, or does it always come back to just like, well, the ownership, like it's always going to fall at their feet?
As long as you have Joe Burrow buying in, right? If Joe Burrow can buy into that culture and say, listen, I know this isn't going to be as nice as some places, right? Cincinnati weather is no joke. Indianapolis weather is no joke. Pittsburgh weather is no joke. You're just in a place here. Detroit weather is no joke. Turns out Henry Ford, one of the forefathers of Detroit, terrible guy. Terrible human, I guess, in the Ford versus Ferrari. Bad guy.
Yikes.
Bad guy.
Mm-hmm. Was not painted in a bright light.
In that Ford versus Ferrari. I mean, we don't know him personally. But from what we've seen from a movie that was about him, not great.
Stooge!
And a sellout. But I think when you're in these cities, it's not Miami weather, right? It's not Los Angeles weather. It's not going to be Texas, which is warm. It's not going to be it's not going to be like Louisiana. But he knows all that, right? So he's from Ohio kid. Looked like an Ohio kid today with the fresh fade, the gelled hair. I mean, looked very good. And then the thought of him buying into the process and knowing that, we don't have an indoor facility like every other team. And I know that at LSU we had about facilities that are, probably 7,000 times better than what we have now. Now, that is not out of the norm, by the way, because these colleges have to spend all the money that they're being paid on something so they can say that they didn't make any money. So you got people building these $500 million buildings so that they can say, we turned no profit last year. We made no money off of these billion-dollar contracts we're making. Well, also because you're building up an entire university and these facilities that are state-of-the-art. And in the NFL, they don't have to do that. It's very obvious in Cincinnati and other places. But I think if Joe Burrow can buy in, that's an infectious type mentality. Then go, look at Cleveland. Baker Mayfield was an infectious-like quarterback, brought energy to Cleveland. Now, granted, this past year he was not good. But in his first year, whenever he got in, after Tyrod Taylor got hurt, and he goes in there and balls out, and he brings a little bit of swagger to Cleveland. Then you got people that want to come there all of a sudden. Okay, Odell wants to come. These people want to come. I think Joe Burrow can be that same type of player for Cincinnati where people will want to come play with him because they think they can turn around a franchise or put a franchise in a place that hasn't been for a long, long time. I think that becomes a place that people want to go. Well, hello there. Utilize the promo code PAYTHEBILLS and get $20 off your first order from SeatGeek. Now, back to the magic.
I think their offense is going to be good as long as Joe Burrow is half of what he was last year. They have A.J. Green. They have Tyler Boyd.
Do they have A.J. Green?
Well, he's a free agent, but all reports are that they're going to franchise him or try to sign him long term.
Oh, and he didn't play all last year, right?
No, he did not.
Not a single game.
No, and then John Ross.
Standing on the sideline of every single game, nobody knowing why he's standing there, just took a year off. And then they're going to be like, what, you think you're going to go somewhere else? No. We're going to franchise tag. You stand here again. Like, what are they trying to do with A.J. Green? I don't know. I would assume there's teams like the Patriots that are going to try to get A.J. Green. The Packers are going to try to get A.J. Green. I think a lot of people are going to attempt to get him. If the Bengals franchise him, that's hilarious. That's another move by that owner saying, I don't care if we win. I don't care if you're happy. I just don't want to see you go have success somewhere else, which so many people have done in the past.
Well, when A.J. was in here, A.J. Hawk was filling in for you. He was A.J. Green's teammate for a season. And he said A.J. is the anti-diva. He's the type of guy who seems like he's going to want to stay in one place his entire career. So if they could get a deal done.
Why? Mm-hmm. I don't think anybody would view him as a diva if he chose to go play somewhere that – but if you have Joe Burrow, here we go. If you have Joe Burrow come in and it's a revitalization of the entire organization, and Zach Taylor, if this guy can win – I don't even know who the hell this guy is. Honestly, the only thing I know about him is the Dolphins were attempting to lose in the front office, and they won more games than the Bengals that were trying to win every game. So that's just something. Now, was Zach Taylor secretly trying to tank to get Joe Burrow or Tua at the time? Maybe. Didn't sound like it. Didn't seem like it. They bench Andy Dalton on his birthday to bring in. It seems like there's a lot going wrong. But if you find a face of the franchise, like Joe Burrow could potentially be, that is the first step towards becoming relevant, to becoming good. But you look around that AFC North, Roethlisberger might be 400 pounds, but he's back.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson is probably going to have another chip on his shoulder after what happened this past year after an incredible run. Then you look at the Browns. Will they ever be able to figure it out? Who knows, but they have a chance. It's like that AFC North is going to be very good. You're going to have to be good to compete there, to get into the dance. Will Joe Burrow take him over that hump this year? I don't think so, but in the next couple years, maybe.